What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. We're going to be looking at the E-mini futures contract once again. Got a little bit of a schedule switch up I think I'm going to throw into the mix in the following weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm actually going to take some time away from trading. I'm going to kind of step back, let the market do what it wants to do. This market right now is very indecisive and has been chopping and eating me alive as I've lost my final funded account today, or not today, but yesterday, today. Lost it today. I was trying to remember. I was like, when the heck did I lose my account? I lost it today. Early on in the day is when I lost. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to take the next 2 weeks away, kind of end out the rest of May with no trading, kind of let my mind reset. I will be keeping up with the markets and continue to post videos. But, and after, at the end of May, I believe I'm going to begin to start posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, different type of video where we're breaking down equities. Certain equities we'll be looking at. We'll look at things like Apple, Amazon, Tesla, all the name brand stocks out there, kind of doing the same technical analysis that we do, but on those stocks as well. And you'll kind of see a correlation that happens with the E-minis and the S&P 500 with the equities such as Apple, Amazon, Google, etc. So we'll look at all those Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to those, because I am as well, as I do kind of get pretty redundant with repeating, especially when we're in a choppy range like we've been, repeating the same thing over and over with the ES futures contracts. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. I am. But let's get right into it. Right now we are looking at our monthly time frame. We are still in a balance. All right. Not a lot happening. We have had an opportunity for an outside month down and an outside month up, as we have taken out both sides of April. All right. So we've taken out both sides of April. So far, still inside the monthly range. However, we are near the monthly balance high. We've gotten really close to breaking out of it. Got nothing for it. We're having a very, very hard time up here. Having a hard time finding any acceptance over the 4150 level. Very, very difficult price action up there. Balance low, which is way down here at 37.8850, is our monthly balance low, right? If we cannot find acceptance by the end of this month, going into next month, I truly believe this market will roll over and visit the balance low. Typically, that's what happens when you get near a balance high and you cannot break out. That's on any time frame, whether it's the larger time frame, 30-minute, 5-minute, does not matter. When you get into a balance and you get near a balance high and you cannot take out that balance, you tend to roll over. Odds favor rolling over and testing the balance low, which would be 37.8850. So if we cannot break above this balance, which buyers are trying their absolute damnedest to do, their hardest to do, and absolutely failing, then we'll roll over and test 3,700, the 3750 level. So keep that in mind for anybody that is swing trading this market. Hopefully you're not. This market is not ripe for swing trades. More for straddles and selling options, if anything. Let's go ahead and look at our weekly time frame. I'm also going to look into buying a new mouse because I'm tired of clicking down here. Weekly time frame. You can see how we're rejecting up. Whoa, easy there, killer. You can see how we're rejecting near the top of our monthly balance, how we've been struggling from a weekly standpoint up here at the top of our monthly balance. This week has been an inside week. We close out the week with an inside week and a very small range. Once again, a small range, pretty similar to the small range we had back in April. Another small range. Volume, pretty light. coming into the end of this week. Let's go ahead and look at our weekly balance. Weekly still chopping around inside this 4206.25 level to the 4062.25 level. Chopping around inside this weekly balance for a few weeks now. Looking to come out of this inside week to the upside or to the downside and have continuation. If we fell once again at the balance high, you'll roll over and test the balance low, which, buyers are defending on the smaller time frames like our daily and our 30-minute time frame. And you can see that here in just a second. We'll go over that. But weekly, chopping around inside this, continue to expect that type of price action. Once again, do not feel discouraged if you or anybody else may be struggling in this market environment to find a strategy, an edge that works for you. This market has been very tough to read, and it's due to a market that is in balance, waiting for more market generated information. Let's go ahead and look at our daily. Like I said in yesterday's video, the daily is subject. All right, you can say that it's the same balance as our weekly balance from the 4206.25 area to the 4062.25 area. It's all subjective. You can say we're in a very large multi-day balance if you like, but for me, I'm going to call it a much smaller balance from the 4177.25 to 4111.50 area. Today we got very, very close to breaking out of this balance low. We got within a tick of it and rejected very, very heavily. Once again, our volume has been very, very light. Our volume below average. Average is slowly ticking down. So if this is any indication of how this summer is going to trade, I hope you have your hard hats on, because it's going to be a difficult summer to trade in. Average volume right now is 1.4 million. Today we did 1.2 million ES contracts. So very light volume. Chopping once again back and forth in between the 20-day moving average. If, however, we do come out of this balance to the downside, which today we failed miserably at, also failed miserably at an outside day up and outside day down. Because remember, yesterday was an inside day, and we're looking to break out of that inside day and failed miserably. Sellers or buyers couldn't get it going early this morning. Sellers couldn't get it going late this evening, even though we trended down majority of the day. Failed at the balance low. Question is, do we rotate back up and retest our balance high and attempt to take out that weekly balance high and get to one time framing up on the daily, the weekly, and eventually the monthly? Or do we roll over, back test the 50, fill that island reversal gap here, get below the 50, come fill this gap, back test the 200. We haven't seen the 200 in quite some time. I haven't seen the 200 since March. March was the last time we've tested the 200-day moving average. And then we got, early May we tested the 50. Do we test the 200 at some point in the future? Could possibly happen. It's near or right above where our monthly balance low is, so would not be surprised. Let me bring up that. See, our monthly balance low is down here at 30.7850. So if we were to fail up here, from a daily, weekly, and a monthly standpoint, odds would once again favor rolling over, backtesting the 200-day moving average, and potentially our balance low. Right? If we backtest the 100-day moving average and do not find acceptance above it, you will go test the 200 or go test our monthly balance low. Now I know that was pretty in depth. Hopefully you guys followed along and stuck with it. Now let's go ahead and get into the trading day, and kind of give you guys an update from that standpoint. Let's bring that in. So it's just a zoomed out, larger picture, and you can kind of see how we've been just chopping around inside this large balance. I'm gonna highlight it just so you guys have an idea. Oop, or I'm gonna do that. But this very large balance area here, this very large zone, we've just been chopping around in. All of this inventory up here is being absorbed or distributed. We do not know. We won't know that until later down the road, whether we come out of this balance to the downside or to the upside. But we've been chopping around in here for quite some time. It's time we find some answers, I hope, in the near future. But let's go ahead and get into what happened today. Oh, and since we're about to go ahead and get into what happened today, I want to bring up the Tradovate account so you can see the actual profile. And that way I can point out a pretty significant nuance. So right here, you can see that we opened up today with a gap above previous day's high. We opened with a gap on pretty light volume as the overnight session had drived up and put a new high in the overnight session right here at 41.6450. Okay. Now today we opened up. Our open was right here at 41.5575. We attempted to drive up and could not get the overnight high. We opened with a gap with higher value and could not get the overnight high. That is pretty significant. The fact that we backed off and began to come in and then filled the gap and then slowly began to get back into find acceptance back into the previous day's range and value area meant that we would come down and trade at that wide point of control here at the 41.36, 41.35 area, right? And in doing so, while we were finding acceptance back into the previous day's range and value area, we got the overnight low. So that's something buyers did not want to see, right? You open with a gap with higher value, things in your favor, and you could not get the overnight high. Then you come in and get the overnight low, filling the gap. You take away a lot of the buyers' authority in this market. And then from then on out, we go trend down with a double distribution. Upper distribution, I hate that word, being all of A's range. And then from D's high to the day's low being the lower distribution. So kind of just chopping around here. Nothing significant, right? But you can see how we failed at the overnight high, rolled in, and went trend down. Now, let's go ahead and get into what happened. Ooh, way too much. See, this is why I need a new mouse. So, like I said, in A period, we opened up with a pretty decent gap, higher value, everything in the favor of the buyers, failed to get the overnight high, and then filled that gap in A period, coming in, testing 46.75. Could you have taken a long position there at the gap fill? Yes, you could have. I would not have stayed married to that position. You did get a nice little bounce to B's high. So from 46 to 51, a nice 5-point gain to the upside. But I would not have stayed married to that. Obviously, anybody that did have that long on came in, and once it took out A's low and we began to one-time frame it down, obviously anybody that was long up here got stopped out and provided pretty good liquidation to the downside, meaning we would find acceptance in the previous day's range and value area. So B one-time framing down, almost got the previous day's point of control. And then finally in C period, continues that one-time framing down. So taking out a previous time frame's low, continuing that one-time framing down to get to that point of control at 41.36. So we hit both those downside destinations. Boom, boom. Now you have a trend day down. You could be taking shorts on pushes up now that you have broken the IB low and have filled the gap. So sellers are showing that they are strong, especially after holding a set of single prints up here. And we'll go ahead and mark that. So after creating a set of single prints in B period, right, and being solidified once C opened and pushed straight down, pretty significant, right? C period attempted to hold set of single prints, but D came up, filled that, pop C's high. And then we get a reversal bar in D period where we just flushed straight down to the lows. Now we attempted to go and have a triple distribution after that point and failed. E period pushed up, filled the set of single prints. We had another reversal bar in F period, textbook afternoon rally high in F. Great opportunity to take a short there in F period. Once we popped up, right? Once you popped E's high, you had the opportunity to short against D and the single prints. Take the short. It came in, set a new low on the day, and your deck's downside target from after getting into the day's range and getting that Y point of control at 36, right? Your next downside target was 41.21. So if you were looking for a good opportunity to short, you re-shorted on that pop in F period against that 36, 37 level to come down, set a new low on the day because we were holding trend. Sellers had things in their favor. One time framing down, the overnight low, the initial balance low. Sellers were very strong. So on that pop up, great opportunity to grab a short position to come down and visit the daily low at 41.21. So you sold 36 or 35 or 34 or even 30. You made money on the downside. Then we attempted to hold another triple distribution. After G period opened up, we continued to drive straight down, continue to push down, and then failed to hold it in H period. As H, we got near, after G and H got near that balance low at 41.1150. We came back in. H filled that set of single prints. Great opportunity to short there once again. Same thing. And even if you didn't short in H period and you wanted to wait until I period to short against H's high, right? So I period pushed up. 41.2750 was its high. You short against 28.50. You made money on the short as I period never took out H's high. We rolled over and set a new low on the day. Now this is where things got tricky. People were piling into the shorts down here now, thinking we take out this balance low and rotate lower. What they were not seeing was the lack of tempo and volume that we were getting in I period and J period and K period, as well as the nuances of us failing to go triple distribution, not only in D period, but in F period and in G period, failed to go triple distribution. The fact that we were failing, was not a nuance to ignore, especially whenever we began to push up against our balance low. So we tested it. Sellers that were selling up here, obviously getting out of their shorts down here, and as well as buyers stepping into the market against this balance low, caused for a good short squeeze late in the evening. So that's exactly what happened here in J and K period, right? We tested that balance low, got within a tick of it, couldn't take it out, and then boom, squeezed up to the upside once we stopped the one-time framing down in K and L period, and then M just shot straight up. So that is today's price action in a nutshell. Also, pretty significant that this market continues to do gaps in pretty significant that we can gap up or gap down and then go trend in the opposite direction. We've seen multiple times now where we've gapped up and then gone trend down, or gapped down and then gone trend up. Seems like we've seen this time and time again. Something that it just never fails. We only go out with today's high, set of single prints, the day's low. No afternoon rally high because M did push up into that 37 area. So we did not go out with an afternoon rally high, but was a great short opportunity up there. That's why you want to know things like the market profile so you can take opportunities that present themselves. Even in the short down here in H and an I period, right? You take the short once H filled that set of single prints at 27.75, right? It was a very small set from 26 to 27.75, very small set of single prints. H popped up, you take the short against that backfill, it comes in, you take it off, we rotate back up, You take the short and I period against H's high, using H's high or 2 points above it as a stop. We rotate in, and you made good money, right? And you get out of that trade. Now, would you have been wrong to take a short again in L period against I or H's high? No, you wouldn't have been wrong, but you definitely wanted to have your stop in case this market did exactly what happened in M period. Where I got in trouble this morning was buying and holding against A's low, right? I got pretty big size, and then once we broke A's low, it came in. I got stopped out for a pretty significant loss, losing that account. And then I ended up paper trading late in the evening with the Tradevate account just being dumb. Took an 85 lot mini down here in K period around the 41.15 area, expecting us to squeeze up to at least the 25 area, and that's exactly what happened. And I got out of that trade for a really nice profit on a paper trade though. So, not real. And I definitely wouldn't have taken that size, but I definitely would have taken, at least a one lot mini or 10 MES contracts down here at the 41.15 level, risking, 4 points to the downside to make 10 points to the upside. So great risk reward long there, especially seeing that we couldn't go triple distribution late in the evening. Let's go ahead and mark these destinations. I know this was a long video. I do appreciate you guys sticking it out though, if you made it here. 58.25. I do try to provide as much inside information or like my knowledge of how I seen the day or, etc. I'm sure some of you guys are like, shut up, quit talking already. Give us the destinations. So there's your high of day, 58.25. 46.75 is where the single print will fill because it is an upside destination, right? Single print will fill here. Single prints fill. Why did I label that green? I'm bass backwards today. Single print will start at D's high at 41.75. Sure, my roommates are tired of me talking as well. Single print start. 23. And then we have the day's low at 41.11.75. 41.11.75. I cannot believe we got into a tick of that balance low and bounced. Low day. So there you guys have it. Upper distribution, A's high 41.58.25 to 41.46.75. Lower distribution from 41.75 down to 41.11.75. So come in Monday, if we open up in the lower distribution and cannot take out the balance low, you will look to expect to come up and test the 41.41 level and get into the upper distribution. With any acceptance into the upper distribution, you'll trade at the 58.25 level and then to 41.69.50. Next upside is 41.77.25. Now for the downside, if we open up and break through the balance low, this market should get some steam let out to the downside. And your downside destinations are 40.98.25. Next thing, vacuum down to a 11Y point of control at 40.81.25, then 40.62.25 to 40.61.25. 1 point of single prints. Or, yeah, something like that. I think it's a small gap, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by. Catch you in the next one.